You must understand that members of parliament in their individual capacity as members of parliament are at liberty, either on their own motion or on behalf of other interested parties out there, including their constituents, to propose privately sponsored bills. And the bill by the member for Aldai, Honorable Mary Ketanyi, is such a private member's bill. It's not a government bill, so I have really not paid keen attention to it being a private member's bill. But public discourse and engagement is part of legislation making, and that is why the Constitution and Article 108 provides for public participation. And Article, I think, 118 provides for public participation, for the public to engage. And therefore, all, again, I would urge is people to read, listen to the Honourable Member. I saw her in one of the stations last night trying to explain what she intends to achieve with the bill. And it's only when you listen and understand the import of anything that you get to know really what it is about. There will be an opportunity, because she's just made a proposal, a legislative proposal. It's not a bill that's already before the House. So when it is before the House, it will be read the first time, it will go for public participation, and everybody, every Kenyan has the right to make their proposals. And following public participation, because again, that is what I saw Kenyans never understood last year. You remember with the Finance Bill 2024, all the issues that Kenyans had raised that they were not very happy with had been removed from the bill of the Finance Bill 2024.
So it's about Kenyans are not reading it properly.
They did not understand the parliamentary processes. Because Kenyans, when the committee returned verdict on the bill, and they said, for instance, tax on bread. We have agreed with the sentiments of the public during public participation that we do not need to tax our bread. We have agreed with the public that we do not need to impose a motor vehicle circulation tax, which, by the way, was even sitting in the wrong act of parliament. It was under the Income Tax Act, and a motor vehicle owning a motor vehicle is not an income. Therefore, naturally, that particular provision was dead on arrival in parliament. And therefore, the committee agreed with everybody who appeared before them, speaking about motor vehicle circulation tax, speaking about tax on bread, and all those things were removed from the bill. When we remove them, how do you remove certain provisions of a bill from that bill before it becomes a law or an act of parliament? Is by amending. And you remember, those on social media started a new campaign. Do not amend, reject. I mean, if you are not amending, then what legislation are you making? The process of legislation is about amendments. In actual fact, there is no law you create from the blues. Because, for instance, you've just spoken about that one by the member for Aldai. She's most likely amending the Kika Act, because there is already an act of parliament that exists. And therefore, what she'll be doing is looking at that act and proposing amendments. If there are certain provisions of that bill that you do not agree with, give your views during public participation. It is not the member who is proposing the bill who will decide what goes into the bill. It is a committee that will be listening to the members of the public, and they return that to the House with a report that you can read and see whether your sentiments were carried through. So